Namaste, my topic for RPP is Olympics. The modern Olympic Games are the leading international sporting event featuring summer and winter sports competitions in which thousands of athletes from around the world participate in a variety of competitions. The Olympic Games are considered to be the world's foremost sports competitions and more than 200 nations participating. The Olympic Games are held every 4 years, with the summer and winter games alternating. Their creation was inspired by ancient Olympic Games. The Olympic movement mainly constitutes three committees, which are IOC International Olympic Committee, IFS International Sports Federations, and NOC's National Olympic Committee, and, and other organization committees for each specific Olympic Games. It also includes several Olympic rituals and symbols such as the Olympic flag and torch, as well as the opening and closing ceremonies. Over 13,000 athletes compete at the Summer and Winter Olympic Games in 33 different sports and nearby 400 events. The Games have grown so much that nearly every nation is now represented. The Games also constitute an opportunity for the host city and country to showcase themselves to the world. These are pictures of opening ceremony and the rituals performed in the Olympic movement. International Olympic Committee. The headquarters of IOC are at Lausanne. IOC is known as the supreme authority of the Olympics movement. These are the pictures of headquarters situated at Lausanne. IOC has a vital role in the Olympics movement. It performs many functions during the Olympic event. The few important functions performed are: first, as IOC is a decision-making body, it is responsible for choosing the host city for each game and organizes and funds the games according to the Olympic Charter. Second, to ensure the regular celebrations of the Olympic Games. Third, to take actions when necessary in order to strengthen the unity and to protect the independence of the Olympic movement. Fourth, to encourage and support the promotion of women in sports at all levels and in all structures with a view to implement the principle of equality of men and women. Fifth, to encourage and support measures protecting the health of athletes. Now, how are the Olympics locations chosen? Any city that wants to host the Olympic Games put in its names to the IOC and is considered an applicant city. For the next 10 months, the IOC investigates a city on several points. First, the city must prove that it is big enough to handle the Olympics. With the Games come a huge number of tourists, athletes, journalists, and politicians. They must show that they can host the Games in new stadiums and venues. They must house all the people in adequate hotels, and they have to transport everyone from one place to the next with a reliable mass transit system. They also need to show that they can handle the high level of security needed at the Games. Second, the city needs to convince residents that the expenses of covering the Olympics, which may be covered by raising taxes, are worth in it the city improvement and new job opportunities. Third, the cities needs to maintain a highly positive media exposure to carry the games. And lastly, the tangible effects of hosting the Olympic Games may not prove beneficial if the bid committees do not exercise proper judgment in developing the city to host the Olympics. Now, if the IOC decides that a city has fulfilled the above points, the city is considered a candidate city and goes into the second phase of the process. After submitting an application and an application fee, the IOC makes a final judging on which city is the best candidate for the coming Summer or Winter Olympics. The cost for bidding for the games are incredibly high. Bid committees must pay an application fee. The fee for hosting the 2012 Olympics was $1,50,000,000 to the IOC. This high fee is meant to discourage cities that are not committed to the efforts necessary to host the Olympics. Following this fee, the cities generally need to begin large construction projects like building the Olympic Village to house the athletes, new sports arenas and stadiums, and transportation system. Now, if the Olympics are so expensive, why do cities want to host the Games? Cities bid for the Olympics for a variety of reasons. First, the desire to show pride in their city and their country. Second, the eagerness to be in the international spotlight for 2 weeks. And third, the opportunity to bring new jobs into the community and to build up tourism to that city. Now, what happens to the Olympic village after event is over? All the Olympics host cities till now have made productive uses of the Olympic village constructed for the Olympic event. For example, the last Olympics organized in London 2012. The flagship venue, renamed the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park, is being converted into a massive park as big as London's famous Hyde Park, complete with wildlife habitats, woods and sports facilities. The first part of the ambitious project will fully open to the public in April. The 80,000-seat Olympic Stadium at the center of the park is now being converted into a soccer venue, the home of the West Ham Soccer Club, with an expected price tag of 323 million. Many people argue that taxpayers should not have to fund a Premier League club, though officials insist that the stadium will continue to host other major sporting events, including the Rugby World Cup in 2015. The athlete village was to be converted into an Olympic museum. This is the chart showing Olympic marketing revenue. The IOC provides top Olympic partners and Olympic broadcast revenue to the OCOGS to support staging of the Olympic Games. Long-term broadcast and sponsorship programs enable IOC to provide the majority of the OCOGS budget well in advance in the Games. The Olympic Games ticketing program is managed by the OCOGS with the approval of the IOC. Primary goals of ticketing are: it enables as many people as possible to experience the Olympic Games, and second, it is to generate necessary financial revenue to support the staging of the Olympic Games. This is the chart showing Olympic revenue distributions. The International Olympic Committee distributes over 90% of Olympic marketing revenue to organizations within the Olympic movement. This includes the 204 NOCs, the Olympic teams and athletes, the OCOGS and the IFS of the various Olympic sports. These funds help support the staging of the Olympic Games and promote the development of the sports around the world. The IOC retains less than 10% of Olympic marketing revenue to cover the operational and administrative costs of governing the Olympic movement. These are the top Olympic sponsors and partners of the Olympic movement. Thank you.